Hey guys, how's it going? Here's an update on my helmet build. I said I'd make another video on how I came along with the padding for my helmet. It's looking pretty good. It's nice and it's pretty neat, you know. I might put a couple more things of padding for the side of the head here, but it's really nice. Now, I went and I put the padding, attached the padding first before I went and cut my fabric. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take go ahead and get one of those ribbon rulers, and you go in there and do the measurements. And remember to cross-cut your corners, so that when you lay your sides over, you can lay the other sides over like fold them over it. I'll go ahead and I'll show you a little bit closer here. Everything looking pretty nice. Yeah, there's a little powder, from sanding and everything, but everything looks pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Make sure you keep your visor taped off. If you mounted your visor first, I would suggest you mount your visor first. And to keep it from getting messed up, just make sure you keep it taped off. I know you're going to want to pull the tape and put the tape. Just make sure you clean it off with some Windex and then tape it back up nice so the tape stays. But yeah, the whole thing came out looking pretty good actually. As far as the inside, I'm getting close to the end of my sanding for the helmet so I could paint it. That's going to happen in the next couple days here. I didn't do it today because it rained and it was a little cool out, and stuff, but this is really nice. It feels real nice. Now I gotta let the helmet air out again because it smells like the adhesive. So there we go. We got that. 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a couple other things. Talk about a couple other things. You're gonna need to talk about the helmet and sanding and whatnot. Alright, so I'm back. Okay, guys, so here we go. There's a few things I want to talk about. I did talk about wet sanding on the helmet, and I was just about to do it to my helmet the other day, and it dawned on me that it's paper, right? Well, the paper that shows through is going to get screwed up if it gets wet after you sand it, because when you resin your helmet, it doesn't always soak through the paper. So scratch the wet sanding. You don't have to wet sand. I mean, you'd love to if you didn't have to worry about screwing up your hand, but if you go from 400 grit to 1,000 grit to 2,000 grit, okay? When you're finishing up your final paint, use a 2,000 grit sandpaper, okay? So right before you do your last coat, remember, don't lay it on too thick. Nice, even, thin layer. That way your last layer is nice and smooth. Now, well, what if it's a little ripply or whatever, or I want it to smooth it out? Okay. If you want to smooth out your helmet, it's going to take a little bit more work. If you really want the paint job to be primo, you're going to sand it, and then you're going to buff it, and you have to get a buffing compound, and then you're going to have to do a kind of a polish compound. They make a polish compound. And this stuff you're going to have to do by hand, but if you do a good enough, paint preparation, and you don't rush your paint job, you're not going to get any runs, and it's not going to be cruddy. Here we're going to talk about stencils. Okay. Let's see here. I was finding some things online, like let's see, what was oh yeah, the UNSC symbol. I found this online. See that? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make that into a stencil. I'm gonna cut it out, and make that into a stencil. You can find that easy on Melinar.com or on Wikipedia. Also, there's another thing I was looking at to put my own little touch on it. Was I wanted to do ancient Greek, what it was, what Spartan looks like in ancient Greek. So I went and did that, did some research. This is ancient Greek for Spartan. Okay, this right here. I got a translator, a free translator online to find that one. Here's another cool thing you're gonna like. When they were coming out with the Mark series, thing, they had CQB and EOD. Let's see here, I got translation for that stuff. Okay, so CQB means close quarter battle armor, and then EOD means explosive ordnance disposal armor. Now, the close quarter battle armor, I believe, was the Mark IV, and then the explosive ordnance disposal armor was when they came out with the Mark V with the shield, so they could survive explosions. And that's what led to the Mark VI. And let's see, what else did I find? If you go ahead and you type in let's see here. If you type in, I printed it out here somewhere. Where'd it go? There's another Spartan sign that the helmet and the head frill or anything. I found a really cool few of those. Here's another thing I found online. That's a really cool part of the prop mix. I went to a place called fightproducts.com. I repeat that, fightproducts.com. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Fightproducts.com. Alright? Right there. Now what I did is I bought a rubber combat training knife. I'm going to go for part of my armor as far as the overall look of the armor, because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fabricate a little area where the knife goes in the armor on mine. But it was $13.50 for the knife and the shipping and handling, so it's not too bad if you're thinking about doing something like that, because I looked around Walmart and Target, and there isn't any Toys R Us stores that's close by here, so I couldn't find anything, because usually, they got these little cop and robber and army kits that come in with a little, fake, plastic knife, and that's what I was looking for, but I didn't find one. But I think this was probably the cheaper way to go, where it'll show up my house here in the next week or so. So I got a really cool looking prop knife. It's military training knife. It's fake. It's made of rubber. It's not made to harm. It bends. So so I went and got lettering, in Greek. Let me talk about the word Melinar. It is that comes from the Vikings and the Northmen. Melinar was the hammer that Thor used. So, the hammer of the gods. It's kind of cool, right? I thought it was cute because I kind of look it up, and one of the listings I looked up when I typed in Melinar, one of the second listings was horse hammer, and that's what it's called. I hope this helped you out. My next video is going to be the painting video. You can get by with dry sanding, but if you used the plastic mold and didn't do the paper method, then yeah, you can wet sand. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm really happy with the way the padding turned out. It's really nice. It's stinky again. It's got to air out, but it's doing really good. I'm pretty happy about it. I'll catch you guys later when I put another video out, alright?